It's lunchtime, and it's time for me to get to work. I've been recovering from this morning's workout. It was a rough one. I did 36 sets, and I was just so dead by the time it was over. I was like, oh gosh, this is rough. But I completed the Cali Move Part 2 as part of that thing. If you want to check that out, you can check out my other stream at Striving to be Superman. If you want to see the pain I was in at the end of that nonsense, start Part 3 next week, I think. Next week or the following week, I don't know. But anyway, I have some coding to do. I'm on Module 6 of Azure training for AZ204 developer. It's AZ204 is the Azure developer training course that you can do through Coursera. Now, really, a lot of the exercises and such that you're doing are through Microsoft Learn. The Coursera part is only adding videos, really. They're adding some video instructions, with some what do you call it, PowerPoints with some extra information. It's not really, I don't think it's necessary. If you don't mind doing it without the videos, you could probably walk through Microsoft Learn. It's free, and just go step all the way through, and you get points. I don't know what the heck the points are for. I don't think they have any effect on anything. They're just, oh, you got points. I don't know. If you look at the top of my my thing here, I haven't completed a lot of these things, but you get 100 points, 100 XP experience, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, you can do it through Microsoft Learn, and if you complete all the steps and you hit the button at the end that says, go continue, you get the points for that page. Its assumption is you must have done it all. Anyway, I am eating lunch while I do this, so excuse me if I'm doing some stuff. I'll try not to do it during important talk times, but I will be trying to get my lunch done. Finally started getting hungry after that workout. Kickstart, start the day. Start the afternoon part of my day. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's see, where are we? I did kind of start this process because, well, it was a pain in the tushkus. I did finally get this going. I was doing it through VS Code, because VS Code, again, the only thing I can get working. Azure Portal does not like it when you create stuff over there. I mean, I could have probably done this there, but I don't know how much of this would have worked and how much not, and I'm just getting used to doing stuff in VS Code. So I decided to go in and just do this there. I did go through the entire process, so it's probably already going to have it up. I went, well, not through the entire thing. I went through about half of it and got a lot of the stuff set up to the point where it was working. So you see here, I've got my different parts and pieces. I did go through to set this default description. This is just setting up stuff for you logging into Azure. This is kind of where I got to. I got to number 7. I did create start resource or subscriptions in this. Actually, I did this one? There was one I did resources. I thought that was the one. Default subscription replacement, default subscription. Create the Azure resources. So, okay, so this is the one that says takes a few minutes, and that's what I did, and it worked, I think. Now we have to say, copy the required information. You'll need these to run the prototype. I don't know what it means by copy the required information. I don't know, is that this stuff? Azure Cosmos DB. I mean, where am I copying it from, I guess is the question. Copying it from this thing? Yeah, I guess this is where the class starts. So I try to learn, try to figure out where all this stuff triggers. It says copy, and it doesn't say where you're copying it from. Okay, so, oh. Cosmos connection string, storage connection string. Okay, so this is what we're replacing in resource group. All right, so I'm going to copy this just like it says. It's the very last thing that it did. I will put this in my notes for now. Now this piece is automated. It's coming from this. And apparently this is like a script of some kind that will run, and it loads up all of the resources and stuff you need. You can see it's actually a bunch of command lines, printf, AZ commands, and it's just doing it for you. Rather than telling you to go through and do all these steps, which you could probably do, it just put them in this thing and you call that script and it just does it. Though, you know, it's probably a good idea to go back and look at it, kind of get a feel for how it's creating these these scripts. Couldn't hurt. All right, use Node.js script to upload sample data into the database with the following command. Okay. npm start. In the terminal, navigate to the root folder. Try again. See if it works here. Just says npm start. Doesn't say any particular. Could not read package JSON. Error. Innoent. No such file or directory. So it's basically saying I don't have a package.json. Although I do. Stock prototype. Huh. I do have a package.json. How come it's saying it's not there? Cannot read package.json. No such file for directory. Open Git repos. All right, well, let's go see what it actually looks like in my directory. So let's see here. I know you can't see it yet, but I'll try to move it over if I see that there's anything here. Yeah, stock prototype. That's nothing. But it is truly not here. Package.json is not there, so it's probably under, is it under setup resources? Oh, it is. Okay, let's try to go CD setup resource. Man, I don't know how to select that. It's not tab. Setup resources. I'll try that again. Hold on. My wife texted me. I gotta see if there's anything I can reply here. She asking something, so I'm just checking my my mail quick, see if I can answer her question. What the heck is that? Okay, back to task. In the terminal, navigate to the root folder. So we're going to go I don't know if it's a root folder of, I would imagine it's the root folder of the app, not the root folder of the root of my like server. That'd be weird. Well, it's doing something. So a lot of stuff, a lot of what we're doing here is just running stuff that's going to just install. And that's kind of tricky because it's showing you all these things that need to be installed in order to do things. So even if you remember what you need to do to go do stuff, you got to remember all the things you need to do to just to set up, get this stuff functional. No errors. And then we're doing this one, which is basically the same one I just did, except for server. Oh, yeah. All right, get the client and server URLs. When running locally, the client server application needs to know where to find each other. The URLs are. Well, there'll be that maybe. You know, each app, it's possible each system will set it up different. I think I did one once and it wasn't 7071. It's like 77070 or some other thing, and it wasn't an exact match. So if it doesn't work, it's probably because it's not matching the port correctly. But we'll see. It might work. I think I've had it work both right and wrong. Just depends on how it's set up. I gotta get my full protein in, so I had protein chocolate milk with my, well, prior to this, prior to my Kickstart. And I'm doing my protein yogurt, flavored with fruit, so of course it's not low-cal. I mean, it's not like terrible, but it's not, you know, it's not Greek yogurt, which is like super, I mean, low calorie considering how much protein you're getting in there. But hey, you know, gotta sometimes have some flavor. I don't like Greek yogurt by itself. This is kind of a Greek yogurt, but it just happens to be made with fruit. You know, has nothing to do with programming. I get it. Sorry. But some people are like, "What are we eating today?" I'm never like that. I do tend to think it's funny when I see streamers eating on screen, and here I am doing it. I'm like, seems like an odd thing to be doing while you're on stream, but you know what? Hey man, streamers eat too. All right, where were we? This doesn't actually show, so we're just gonna guess that these are the right ones. When locally, update local settings for the Azure Functions app. We'll assume that those are going to be the right ones. If not, I will. So basically what this is doing is setting it up so I can run this all on my local machine. So we'll see where all this is going. Create the .start server local.settings JSON file and paste in the following. Start server sample local settings JSON. I guess I could fix that one, right? We'll just call it local settings JSON. Node, enable worker indexing, Cosmos DB connection string 7. You know what? That's exactly the same one. I don't need to copy this. I could just use this and then replace the bits, and then, well, I have to rename it to be a local settings JSON. But all right, so the first thing we have is this really long, surprisingly long connection string. We'll go copy. And then we're going to put that in the connection string. And then we have enable working indexes, Cosmos DB connection string. And that's the next one. And then, well, that's it. That's all it says. Update. All right, so we're going to rename this. And we'll hit save. Okay, so assuming I copied that correctly, there's no resource group name on this one, so that must be a different piece. Update the following variables of the values you copied from the above. Okay, did that. Add local settings for the client app. Add the server URL to the prototype's client folder, which is right here. And I'm going to go and create a .env file with the following contents. All right, here's a .env sample right here. And they already have localhost 771. It's already created for me. I just need to rename this. Now I don't know if the setup did this, that little setup package I ran, or if just creating this thing automatically creates those for you. I don't know, because it probably knew, but I'm not sure how that works. Run the server application. In the terminal, start the Azure Functions application. All right, I'm going to go here. And we're off. Let's see if this works. It might not work, because I might not be in the right folder, but we'll find out in a minute. That's doing something. Functions, get stocks and set price. All right. Still going though. Hasn't given me my prompt for the next line. Right. Well, I did do that. In a new terminal, start the client application. Oh, right. And we're off. We're setting all this stuff up, man. When the notification displays that the application is running, select Open in Browser to use the prototype. All right. So at some point, it's going to say this. Let's see. Let's see what it does. I don't think it's done, because I don't think it is. I'm kind of hoping for a dialog to pop up, but maybe it won't, and I just have to browse to this manually. Where is it? It's not showing. All right, well, I guess we're just going to go local. Follow, control. Ooh, look at that. I got some cool stock prices here, and it's showing up stuff. I'm supposed to be able to see this simultaneously. So I am. Let's actually take this thing. We're going to pop it right into the corner here. Let's see here. I want to. Why isn't it? Yeah. Why am I not getting the. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Put it right there. This way I can see the document also. All right, so I got my stocks and I got my code here. All right, so in the prototype browser, in the prototype browser window, open the browser's developer tools. Notice the browser is making a request to the API every 5 seconds. Let's go inspect. Trying to see which of these is going to show me that, because the console's not showing it making those calls. And I'm trying to see what they think is developer tools. I thought this whole thing was developer tools, but I could be wrong. All right, let's see here. All right, hold on. Oh, this is the dev tools. Okay, I don't see where it says, notice it's making these calls every 5 seconds. I'm not seeing it. Oh, unless that's supposed to be when you do it down here. But this isn't popping up. Between 404 and 36 milliseconds. It's 5 milliseconds. Doesn't actually tell you. It says, in the prototype browser window, open the developer tools. Notice the browser is making a request to the API every 5 seconds for all the data, even though the data hasn't changed. See, I don't see where it's making... a request every 5 seconds. Oh, is it flashing? No, I guess. I thought maybe it was flashing like it was refreshing even though it's not doing anything. I don't see... I'm not seeing anything happening really. I feel like it's doing nothing. And if it says it's doing something every 5 seconds, but how do we know that? It says just note that it's doing it. Okay, where am I noting that at? Because none of this looks like active. Is it making a request in the code here? Offset height. Yeah, I don't see where it's making this supposed 5-second request. Watch the output for Azure apps. A single stock price changes every minute. When the price in the API changes, the next client fetch of all data includes that change. Oh, okay. It says in the prototype browser, in the browser window, watch the output for the API for the Azure Functions app. A single stock price changes every minute. Where are we at? We're at 12:51. I haven't seen a change. Start it for a minute. I'm not seeing any changes. No. It says it changes every minute, but now this could actually, no, I guess not. I was going to say this might actually be retrieving actual stock prices, which might actually have an effect or change. And it may, I don't know, maybe it's doing something. I don't know what these stocks are. ABC, isn't that Alphabet? Or is that something else? I don't know. I'm not seeing any changes though. Oh, I did. DEF changed. 5232 is now 40. It was 4769. Okay, so it is changing regularly. But you know, the point is, you may not want to. What they're trying to show you is that this thing is polling constantly. You don't necessarily need it to poll that often. I don't see in the browser, I don't see in the tools here how it, I don't see the calls. It says every 5 seconds, but I'm not seeing any calls because these are, you know, this stuff is locked. It's not refreshing. It's not updating. There's nothing. It says fetch stocks. So we have 3 fetches, but unless it's doing something new each time, I don't see it fetching anymore. You know, these are like, and how can you tell that it's every 5 seconds? That's just all. I'm trying to just understand how this is updating. I do see multiple fetches, but again, I would think this would just kind of be loading up. What is this? Some problems no longer generate console missions, but are surfaced in the Issues tab. So I go back here. I'm trying to see something that says it's doing it every 5 seconds. Is this actually connecting to data? So we have a price here, 97.31, but this one's the one that keeps changing. Well, that one changes too. I guess that one's just not changing as often. But there's, unless it's doing something that's randomly changing it, I can't imagine we're actually connecting to some kind of stock price. I mean, it could be a publicly accessible API. I don't know. But I want to find something that says every 5 seconds something's going on. Like they're saying it's doing it. Yeah, I don't see anything that says it's polling every 5 seconds. Because even my log here, I wonder, unless I'm going back, is it here that's logging every 5 seconds? Oh, okay. Ah, yeah, okay, here it is. The server log is showing that it's being polled every 5 seconds. There's nothing to show different. And every minute this one updates. Oh, so does that. Okay. Only when there's a change. I get it. But it's not in here. I don't know how we can tell in here. I wonder if there's a way to go look. That's going to be a pretty long list after 5 seconds that long. I wonder if I can click here. Probably not, because that's not live. That's not an active page. This is the starting page. This is just the page of default values that no longer exists. Huh. Yeah, that didn't help. Okay, so but we do know that this is updating every 5 seconds, which is way too often. Logs get nice and busy. Let's see. The prototype browser window, open the browser to Ofusho's notice the browser is making with. It's I don't know how to tell where this is. Notice the browser is making requests every 5 seconds. I can't tell that except for looking over here. Developer tools, if it's showing something happening every 5 seconds, I'm not seeing it. I don't see visual evidence of that happening every 5 seconds. I'm probably looking at the wrong thing, but I don't know where the right thing is. But we did do that. This is one of those limitations. You don't want to do that in both the start client and start server terminal. Stop the application with a Control C. Okay, so we're going to go Control C to kill it. We'll say yes. We're going to go over here to node, Control C, and hit yes. That should put me back in a state of not running. Okay, so I can go on to the next thing, I guess. Continue. Enable automatic updates in a web application service, Signal IR. So we're going to try to do this in a little bit different way. We're actually going to do some stuff, I think, now. I mean, other than just watching that. All that part of the class was visualizing the problems with that method. Constant polling of the source code, which is, not great. It's inefficient, to say the least. Okay. Stop it. All right, so apparently got that one. This one, right. All right, so we got to go back here, and we did this. Say mark is completed. Go to next item. And this is just another one of those did you do it's, and we say yes we did. Because we did. Guess you could say yes we did and didn't do, but it's all honor system, right? 347. Enable automatic updates in a web application. It's about a 3-minute video. Let's see what we got.
Next, we'll move away from polling and toward an app that pushes data updates as they occur to connected clients. This new design reduces traffic and makes a more efficient UI by only updating as data changes. The 3 technologies that we'll use to deliver this updated solution are Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Functions, and SignalR. As data changes in the database, Azure Cosmos DB exposes a change feed. The change feed support in Azure Cosmos DB works by listening to a database container for changes. It then outputs the sorted list of change documents in the order in which they were modified. By listening to the change feed, your application can automatically respond to data changes. The key difference between this function and the original getStocks function is that the function is now triggered based on changes to our data. In the preceding exercise, we triggered our function based on requests from the client and pulled back all data through an Azure Cosmos DB input binding. Using the Azure Cosmos DB trigger automatically makes our data retrieval more efficient. Azure Functions features a binding that runs code anytime data is updated in an Azure Cosmos DB change feed. Once a function is listening to the change feed, then you can work with a subset of your data that just represents data changes. When paired with a persistent connection to the client, the function can contact individual clients on demand, which is the foundation for a real-time application architecture. In contrast to polling, a more favorable design features persistent connections between the client and server. Establishing a persistent connection allows the server to push data to the client at will. The on-demand nature of the connection reduces network traffic and load on the server. SignalR allows you to easily add this type of architecture to your application.
Oh,
SignalR is an
I don't know why I thought that was
series
Signal
of
IR.
technologies that allows
Not
your
enough
app
letters.
to enjoy two-way communication between the client and server. SignalR handles connection management automatically. It lets you broadcast messages to all connected clients simultaneously, like a chat room. You can also send messages to specific clients. The connection between the client and server is persistent, unlike a classic HTTP connection, which is re-established for each communication. A key benefit of the abstraction provided by SignalR is the way it supports transport fallbacks. A transport is a method of communicating between the client and server. SignalR connections begin with a standard HTTP request. As the server evaluates the connection, the most appropriate communication method or transport is selected. Transports are chosen depending on the APIs available on the client. For clients that support HTML5, the WebSockets API transport is used by default. If the client doesn't support WebSockets, then SignalR falls back to server-sent events, also known as event source. For older clients, Ajax, long polling, or Forever Frame is used to mimic a two-way connection. The abstraction layer
Forever
offered by
Frame.
SignalR provides 2 benefits to your application. The first advantage is future-proofing your app. As the web evolves and APIs superior to WebSockets become available, your application doesn't need to change. You could update to a version of SignalR that supports any new APIs, and your application code won't need an overhaul. The second benefit is that SignalR allows your application to gracefully degrade depending on supported technologies of the client. If it doesn't support WebSockets, then server-sent events are used. If the client can't handle server-sent events, then it uses Ajax long polling, and so on.
All right, which of the following options are correct about SignalR? It allows for two-way communication between the client and server. It handles connection management automatically, and it lets you broadcast messages to all connected clients simultaneously. Sounds about right. I think it's all of them. Oh, I don't know. Is it two-way? I didn't even notice. Is it two-way? Maybe. Oh, okay. It is two-way. All right. So, two-way communication between the client and server. Signal R handles connection management automatically, and Signal R lets you broadcast messages. Uh-oh. I didn't even see that there was another thing. Did I miss that? It does not support sending messages to specific clients. Oh. So it's everybody or nothing. It's like a sense of... I didn't even see that option. Good thing. I did not see that, though. It does not support sending messages to specific clients. That's not checked. And I assume... I mean, it's... I guess I got it right? Because it doesn't say... It does say that's wrong. So, I'm guessing that we're good.
Let's look at how to use SignalR to broadcast information from a function that reads the Azure Cosmos DB change feed.
All right, so now it's an exercise again. How many have I got through? I'm going to have... This is it. This is the end of, well, this is the end of module 1. There's only one other module. I don't know if I'll get through both, but let's see if I can at least get through this one. And then I have one module to go before 7. And 7 is not a module of exercises, I believe. I think it's just the test. The test, class test kind of thing. It's not really a, it's not the actual test. Hopefully. I mean, I know it's not, but I mean, I don't know what all it's going to be. All right, so we're going to go here. Enable automatic. Okay, so this one I already had. I already have the code up. Enable automatic updates in a web application. That's this one. Or did I lose it already? Did I lose my page? Did I lose my page? Keep learning. Says I'm way ahead of my objective, which is fine. Woo-hoo. My objective was actually to be done this week. I wanted to be done this week and have my test next week. I could still do that, or at least the test next week. I don't know if I'll get through the whole module. I mean, this is kind of set up. It's supposed to take, this whole week 6 is supposed to be done in a whole week. And, you know, I'm doing them in a couple of days usually. All right, so let's go. It's weird how the title of that is not a match. All right, so I guess we're just opening this up in a new page. All right, to add Signal R to this prototype, you need to create an Azure Signal R resource. A few new functions to support Signal R. Update the client to support Signal R. Create Signal R resource. And this is kind of that thing where we're just constantly installing stuff, right? So this is really not, I mean, it gives you a lot. See, it says create Signal R resource. And this is the steps to creating it. So you could theoretically go in and just say set-e, if AZ account show blah, then blah, you know, we're going to go through. It's just doing all this stuff in a script for you, and it's going to set it up. So if I go here, so we want to go back to let's see. And this one's going to be, we're not in stock, but we're in resources though. So it's going to be cd setup. How come I can't, what is the key that, see I can't, if I hit tab, I guess that works, but that's weird. It wasn't work. I don't know. I guess I didn't think that would work. Because tabbing looked like it was doing extra stuff. All right, so we got this. Hit enter. Job 1, background running. True, localhost. It's that. Is that it? It's done? No, it can't be done. CD stock prototype set as a bash, create signal. 1. Name job 1. PS job type name. Background job running. Has more data. And it ended. Okay. Copy the connection string for the signal resource. You'll need. So I got this thing did not pass me a signal resource. I don't know. Did it? I don't know. Oh, you know what? Let's try this here. That's doing something. You know, sometimes it's bash, sometimes it's PowerShell that these things work in. They write them with different things in mind, and sometimes it works. Okay, so let's see. Exit 1, stock prototype setup signal resource. I feel like exit is wrong. Stock setup resource. No such file or directory. Oh, it didn't like that. Oh, and that's not setup resource. Setup dash resources. No. Pro stock prototype. Oh, we're in Git repos now. Okay, so it's cd stock dash prototype, or shall setup resources. Oops. Setup dash. Nope. Setup dash resources. Okay, wait a minute. What did I do wrong here? We're in Git repos. CD stock prototype. Why is that so hard? Okay, that worked. CD setup dash resources. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it all at once. Okay, now that worked. Now we go here and put that back. Still didn't like it. Okie dokie. Stock prototype set. No such file or directory. CD stock prototype setup resources. Bash create signal RS. It's this navigation thing is messing me up. It's like why is this such a pain? Because I was in setup resources, that didn't work. And that doesn't work either. Now we're in stock prototype. Where the heck does it think I'm supposed to be? Now let's get rid of this. I don't think. Look, it's just pushing me back. It's not actually doing what I expect it to do. All right, so we're gonna go. You know, it could be that it doesn't like. I don't have this as the / on it. Okay, that worked. Now we're just going to do the second part. We're not even going to go. We're just going to do this piece. Okay, so now we're working. Whatever the heck it was doing, it's no longer complaining. It did its thing. Subscription name, free trial, signal service name. Is that what it wanted me to copy? Copy the connection string with the signal R resource. Signal R connection string. Signal R service name, creating signal R account. It's still doing something, it looks like, because I don't have a prompt yet. Figure when I have a prompt, it's working, right? Will be ignored in class. Class, I remember signal resource. Resource provider, signal R, used by this operation is not registered. We are registering for you. Okay. It's going to register for me. I should probably move around more. Gonna get, what is that, compartment syndrome? Because I did a lot of exercise today. My legs are gonna wig out if I keep sitting all day. Gotta keep that blood circulating, especially since my wife wants to go play pickleball again. She was like, this morning goes, my legs are kind of stiff. I probably shouldn't be playing 2 days in a row. And I go, well, it's probably a good idea while you're getting in shape. She's just getting used to this stuff. And she writes me, it's a beautiful day. I want to go play pickleball. So I told her, all right, well, do some stretching, loosen up, try to get your legs limber, kind of get yourself stretched out. And I'm not doing that. I'm sitting on my butt, all day. And I have to. I got to get my work done. But at the same time, there's no reason why I can't move. Try to get the blood flowing a little bit. Stretch out while I let these nonsense things run, right? I don't know, nonsense, but okay, so one of the things I want to do a little work on Windows APIs. That's kind of after I finish this one. Hopefully I can get the certification. I got to figure out how to afford that. What I need is a job. Hey, so if you know anybody looking for a software engineer who's, starting to learn how to do Azure and knows C# and SQL Server and has taken some classes for React and Next.js and GraphQL and hopefully, and a Python class even. So I have familiarity with all those things. Right now I can only say familiarity because I haven't done a lot of hands-on yet. I'm hoping to do more in the weeks to come. But if you know anyone looking for such a person who's willing to learn these new things and do this stuff, please let them know that I am available and would be willing to chat about any positions that might be out there. So, yeah. Oh, I hadn't tried that. So I probably got my head cut off at the moment. Because I'm standing up, waiting for stuff to finish. Did it finish? Nope, still going. Let's see here. Oh, wait, wrong thing. We will go here. You can't see what I'm doing because it has no bearing on anything. Aha. That was it, man. That did the trick. Things are better now. My scale wigged out on me this morning. It was saying it put this weird entry into my weight log. Said I lost like 50 pounds. 60 pounds actually. Put a 121 in there and I'm like 180. And I'm like, why did I go to 121? It's like, holy moly. I was like, I certainly didn't do that. So now, of course, then it says, hey, you hit your goal. And I'm like, yeah, I lost half my body. Like, that's not good. That wasn't hitting my goal. That was, I dropped off. I'd lost a couple of limbs. Is this done? Oh, this is probably what it wants. Signal R connection string. It doesn't feel like I've got I still don't feel like I have the All right, so we got the connection string. Let's go put this over here on my my notes so I don't lose it. I probably should have said that. Let's copy the whole thing just so that I have the title of what the heck that is. Okay, so now as we move past, we got to go to add a variable to the values object named signal or connection string. So what are we going to? Start server local settings JSON. Start server local setting JSON. And this one is going to be signal or connection string. We're going to go here. Oops. What did I do? That's not what I was trying to copy. What did I just copy? What the heck just happened? Oh, nope. Nope. Hitting the wrong buttons, Ken. Let's try that again. Go here. Control C. Control V. All right, there you go. Oh, I think the one above that needs a comma. Or not. Don't know. That didn't work. I think signal or connection string is supposed to be highlighted, so it doesn't like something about this nonsense. Do I need to take this out? Or am I missing a actually, let's put that in and put quote. Put that on there. Oh, there we go. That was the problem. I was missing a quote. I'm surprised things worked at all. But that seems to have fixed it. Okay. With the value listed in the terminal, we did create signal R open connection function. What, are you trying to go upstairs again? I gotta go take my dog upstairs. She's come on. All right. She likes to come downstairs, but only until she's, ready not to be downstairs. Then she has to go back upstairs. Okay, back with it. All right, the web client uses Signal R client SDK to establish connection to the server. The SDK retrieves the connection via a function named Signal Open Connection. Open the Visual Studio Code command palette by pressing F1. Command palette? Oh, is that the thing on top? Yep. And then we're going to go Azure Functions, create function. I could have just done that from the Azure thing, but this is how they wanted me to do it. Choose set default. Start server. Select yes. When prompted, provide the following information. HTTP trigger. And signal R open connection. No, really? Oh. Signal R dash open dash connection. File name signal R open connection.ts is now available. Yes, it is. Open it. Okay. And replace everything with the following code. All right, so I'm not sure. Okay, so we got a little bit of extra stuff. It's no longer crying. It's no more squiggly lines. So apparently that was more in line with what was expected in this application. So you can see my signal R connection string. We've got the input signal R generic. Got all this stuff going on. Everything seems to be good though. No syntactical errors. That's always good. Is returned. The signal R connection information is returned from the function. Create the signal R send message function. Open the Visual Studio Code command palette again. We're gonna go Azure functions, create function, same thing. This time we're gonna say select the location of the function app as start server. This didn't actually give me that option this time, man. Azure Cosmos DB trigger is what I want though. Okay. And we're gonna call it signal R dash send dash message. And we've got that guy going. Except it didn't ask for this next step. Hmm? Wait. Let's try that again. Create function. DB trigger. Signal R dash send dash message. Failed to parse local settings JSON. What? Line 8. Okay, I gotta go to local settings JSON and see what the problem is. I apparently have a broken piece of code. 8. So it doesn't like this. I don't know why it doesn't like that. What doesn't it like about this connection string? Doesn't like whatever it is on column something or other. Column 168, which is probably out here somewhere. Maybe the access key? Version number? version equals 1.0. I'm not sure what it doesn't like about that. Fail to parse. Well, assuming I copied it correct, is my code still here? Oh, it's weird. It disappeared. It does. It just says with. My string is gone. Get signal R connection string. Replace. Can I type that again? Get. Oh wait. You know what? I wonder if. Let's see the function I ran. I could. It's probably a command that pulls that. And the command is signal R resources. Signal R resources. Replace. See, it does. It says print F. I wonder if I can call this. I wonder if I could call this and it would work. Or I wonder if I should actually signal R connection variable. Maybe I do this. What happens if I do that? Nothing. Oh wait, is it doing something? Yeah, it did. Ah, check it out. It worked. I'm guessing this is exactly the same line though. Yep, it's an exact match. I just I did that because I wasn't sure why my local settings JSON doesn't like the setting that I put in there. It's something about line 8, 168, column 168. What does it not like? I don't have any idea what column 168 is. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what that is. Excuse me, a hiccup. Excuse the hiccup. Yeah, what is the local settings JSON's problem, man? It can't be my access key because it's got to be pulling that straight from Azure, so. And it's signal R connection string. And I copy and pasted that. So unless there's something wrong with this app, now the only other thing I can think of is that it's not supposed to be in quotes, but that seems wrong, right? That would be wrong. I don't think it even compiles correctly if I don't put it in quotes. Okay, oh, something's wrong here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Aha! Ah! I think I found it. I somehow put a quote on the next line. How did I not notice that? Sometimes you just stare at something and then all of a sudden ding, 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 ding. All right, let's try that again. F1. Create function. This thing. And we're calling it signal R dash send dash message. Aha, see, there we go. Cosmos DB connection string. Name of the Cosmos DB database that includes the collection to be monitored. Stocks DB. Oh yeah, do I still have that? Stocks. Oh, that maybe this is the one that got created as part of. And then whatever this is. Collection name, stocks. And we're going to go with true. And it's running or doing whatever it's doing. Hopefully it did it quickly. It did. There's my new function code. Now it says open signal R send message TS and replace with everything inside of there, everything inside of there with everything that's inside of this. And you can see like this one's got, you know, bugs up the wazoo. But we'll put this one in and you can see that all the bugs disappear. So obviously they have an idea of what they're doing. But again, we got this constant going out to signal R output generic. We got data message. So this is kind of like the communication going on. We got the connection string going on. And yeah, looks like we're good here. Let's go to the next step. Define. Okay. Are they just explaining this? Define incoming data coming from Cosmos DB object defines a Cosmos DB trigger to watch for changes. Okay, so that's the name of the trigger. So it's kind of telling you define incoming data. Well, I guess it doesn't really talk about it. Define outgoing data coming from Cosmos DB. Is there a variable called coming from Cosmos DB? Going out to signal R. Well, I don't know where that is. I don't know what they're talking about. It says coming from Cosmos DB object defines a Cosmos DB, but there is no coming from Cosmos DB object, unless it's this thing. And then we got going out to signal R. That's what this is. That's valid. So I don't know what the other piece is. And then we got the hub name is the same hub default. Got hub name right there. We got data to send. Data to message. This is what we're sending out. And then stocks, extra outputs. So they're kind of explaining what you're doing here. The app.cosmosdb ties the bindings to the function. I don't see that. Where is that? Oh, there is app.cosmosdb. It's the last thing, and it's not on my page. Okay. And then we have the stock. Okay, so I see what's going on. Data to message. Where is data to message? Connect data to transport. Is that up here? Oh, data to message. Okay. So yeah, it shows everything. I don't know where it's getting this coming from Cosmos DB object. Or it's coming from Cosmos DB object, which is probably that thing. Object defines the Cosmos DB trigger to watch for, but it doesn't actually show you the name of that. Anyway, I don't know where any of these are, but there you go. Commit changes and push to GitHub. Okay, so now we got to commit changes and push to GitHub. So we're going to go here. Is there a function app? Create a function app and related. Oh, in the terminal. Oh, I guess we're going to do this here. Copy. Let's see if I can paste all this stuff. No. Git commit. Oh, wait, what? Your branch is up to date with git commit -m add signal IR function. Your branch is up to date with origin main. Changes not staged for commit. To update what will be committed. Untracked files. No changes added to commit. Use git add and or git commit. So what? No. What do you mean no changes? No changes added. I tried to do git add. It didn't let me. Git add. Nothing specified, nothing added. Maybe you want to say git add. Maybe I do. Apparently you have to say period on there. Git add dot. Okay, did it do it? All right, so now apparently I couldn't do them all at once. So now we're going to do this. All right, so now we got it added, and then we have to do a git push once this is finished. Git. I haven't done command line gitting. Really, I haven't. I usually just do it from the menu up there. So we're going to see about getting this all up there this way. I think we're good. All right. All right. Now, create a function app. Create a function app and related resources in Azure to which you can push the new function code. Open the Azure portal. No. To create a new function app. No. Use the following information to complete the resources creation basic tab. Okay, so you can't create an Azure function app in Azure. It just doesn't work. So if I go here, post-pend your name to API, for example, API Jamie. Code or container, select code. Runtime stack. Select Node.js. Version, select LTS version of Node.js. Select region. Operating system, select Linux. What? Linux? Linux? I don't do anything in Linux. What the heck? Is that even a thing? Connect your new function app to the GitHub repository to enable continuous deployment in a production environment. You would instead deploy code changes to a staging slot before swapping them into production. In the Azure, connect your new function app to the GitHub repository to enable continuous deployment in a production environment. You would instead deploy code changes to a staging slot. Use the following information to complete the following configuration, deployment configuration. So we're not actually deploying from here. So we basically are going from here to GitHub, and then from GitHub to Azure. But I know Azure is stupid. Look, when I go try to create a function app in Azure, it's going to ask me for my storage account. And it's not going to work. I'm telling you, I'm going to go there, unless this is setting up differently where it doesn't need it. This is not going to be a happy day. I mean, I can create a function app and just deploy up and then have this go over and connect to it. But we're going to try. We're going to try doing it their way. See if there's any chance this particular form of Azure function app creation actually works. I'm leaning towards no, it does not. But I'm gonna be a negative Nelly and see if, because it looks like there's slightly different settings and resources. So messages, people. What is going on in the world? What is happening, man? Boy, they have quite the active group, man. Quite the active group. Okay, so back to it. Look at all this stuff. I've really got to start deleting stuff before my free trial goes, hey, buddy, you're going to be owing us some dollars. Your dollars upgrade to pay as you go. Oh, I'm okay right now. I've only used 73 cents of my free trial. Guess that's okay. All right, so we're going to go resources, and it says Azure portal, creating a function, use the following information to complete create resource creation basics tab. So we're going to go create function app. Do this again. This is the basics. We're going to select my free trial. Our resource group is going to be stock prototype. Is that here? Did we create that? I don't see anything called stock prototype. Oh, I have to create a new. Never mind. Stock dash prototype. A little skimming text maneuver that doesn't always work. In fact, surprisingly enough, it doesn't work that often. Function app name. We're going to call it, they just do different prefix. It doesn't matter what you call it, as long as you have a consistent name. AMG, and then AZ204 dash API. Runtime stack is going to be Node.js. Regions US. It didn't even ask me. Oh, operating system is Linux. Okay. Hosting select. I already did that. Okay. Don't fill out any other tab and select review create. Okay. Wait for the deployment to complete before continuing. Select go to resource to open the new function app. All right. We're creating. Now we just sit back and wait for this to do all of its nonsense. Deployment in progress. creating all of its nonsense. Interestingly enough, I could have attached this to GitHub in that settings. One of those is connecting it, you know, continuous integration, continuous delivery in there. So I'm surprised that we skipped that step. All right, so let's go back to my home. We're going to go to the function app that I just created. I think. So I go to open the new function app. Yeah. Okay. Function app. Here we go. Connect your new function app to GitHub. Enable continuous deployment in a production environment. You would instead deploy code changes to a staging slot before stopping. In the Azure portal for the new function, select Deployment Center. Is Deployment Center a thing? Deployment Center. Okay. And then we select source of GitHub. Use the following information to complete the deployment configuration. All right. Select your GitHub account. Daisyon. Repository. MS Learn Advocates, Azure, something. I assume that's and Signal R. Yep, okay. Branch is main branch. And then workflow option, add a workflow. Do I see anything about workflow options? Workflow configuration. Workflow option. File with workflow configuration defined by the setting above. I don't see anything that says workflow options. Select how you want to get over workflow. Identity. Create new. Subscription, free trial. Authentication type, user assigned identity. That's it. The only thing I can't do is that workflow option. Select add a workflow. Because there's nothing here. I guess that's this thing, right? Workflow configuration. All right. Well, let's see what that says. If existing workflow configuration exists, it will be overwritten. Okay. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave. It doesn't tell me to do anything with it, so just hit save. The deployment configuration creates a GitHub Actions workflow file in the repository. You need to update the workflow file to use the correct package path for the function app. In Visual Studio Code terminal, pull down the new workflow file from the fork. So once I copy here, we're going to go all the way to my Visual Studio terminal. I assume that's bash again. Get pull origin date. This should place a new folder at .github with a path to your workflow file. Does it? All right, let's see what it did. Where is it supposed to be? .github. Don't see a .github anywhere. Where'd it put it? If it put it, it didn't put it here. All right, let's go over here and just look for okay, so I'm probably looking in the wrong place. The Visual Studio Code terminal, pull down the menu from the origin code, pull down. This should place a new folder at .github with a path to your workflow file. So maybe I have to go to my GitHub. Maybe that's what it's saying. I don't know. I don't know what else it could be saying because there's no .github here. So I'll go back over to my GitHub. Sign me in, please. And we'll go my repositories. All right. And let's see, is there a .github something here? I don't see it, obviously. We got example client workflows though. I don't see anything. It says it should have created something. I'm not seeing it. I don't see anything related to .github. Nothing. This should place a new folder at .github with path to your workflow file. Is it a new folder? Maybe it's not actually visible. Let's see here. Nope. Yeah, I don't see a .github anything. I do see that I'm running out of space on my computer at the moment. Can't repose. I see .git, hooks, info, logs, refs. I don't know what they're referring to. There is no such path. I don't know. I don't see a workflow. It's not on my folder. I see client workflows. Are those the ones I want? Maybe I just want to work with the client workflows. Example client workflows. Client server workflows. Open the workflow file. It should be main_resource_name.yaml. Because it did not pull anything down. Let's go see what this looks like. Because the resource repository has the Azure Function App and subdirectory, the action file needs to change to reflect that. In the end section, add a new variable name, package path, to use the package path name. Is there an end section? I see, I mean, this is probably not what it expects to see, right? And I did the get pull. Get pull. Do it again. Get pull origin. It's going to be the same thing. See, it's already up to date. HTTPS GitHub. Yeah, it's pulling the right thing. Kubectl command failed. What is kubectl? Many features of the Kubernetes extension will not work. Okay. Jeez. I don't know what the Kubernetes stuff is doing, but I installed it just because it was giving me errors. I don't want to blame errors for my my problems. Okay, no more errors, but that still didn't fix the problem. There's nothing here that it puts. It says it puts a GitHub workflow down. I do not see any GitHub workflows. It's supposed to be at .github. As you can see, there is nothing here of any sort called .github. And I even looked. Yeah, I don't know where what it's talking about. I don't know where this workflow is. I'd imagine it's supposed to pop up here. In Visual Studio Code Terminal, pull down the new workflow file from the fork. Git pull origin main. This should place a new folder at GitHub with a path to your workflow file. It does not. So, do I just create a folder called my resource name? What is my resource name? I think I have that up here. Oh, it's resource group name. The resource name, I would imagine, is my function app, right? So we're going to go with, because the resource repository has the Azure Functions app, so I'm going to just create it. Let's just see what happens if I create this thing. I don't know if it's going to work. So there should be a folder. We're going to go new file, I think, right? New file or new folder? We're going to go new file. And we're going to call this .github workflows main underscore. What is the name of my resource? Oops. I probably should have had that in hand already. My resource is this thing. Let's try that again. Alright, so I'm going to say .github / workflows main underscore this guy. .yml. Okay. So now we have that. Open the workflow file, change the name value at the top of the file to server. See, they have one down here that looks like server, right? See, they actually have, this looks like a lot of that same stuff. It's probably the one they want. That's probably why it doesn't do that anymore, it just gives it to you. Name, server, and then the end. Change the name value at the top of the file to server because the repository because the source repository has rip function subdirectory, the action file needs to change to reflect that. In the M section, add a new variable named package path. It already has package path and it already says start server. It's already got that, man. It's in there. Find the resolve project dependencies using npm step and replace the contents with the following YAML. Resolve project dependencies using npm. Resolve project dependencies using npm. Okay. Copy. The critical change is the path to the push D command. It looks exactly the same. Push D, env Azure function app, package path, install run build if present, npm run test if present. I don't see how that's any different. It looks exactly the same. I mean, it is like if I were to replace that, we wouldn't even notice that I did it. Azure function app package path. Huh. Okay, there's nothing to change there. Find the zip artifact for deployment. All right, zip artifact for deployment. Step and replace the contents of the following YAML. Now this looks different because zip article is, we got push D, which doesn't actually have a thing. And CP, all it does there is have the name, uses, mits, zip artifact for deployment. Step and replace the contents with the following YAML. All right, well, let's do that. Doesn't know what to do with that. Kind of figured it was a problem. Oops. All right. Oh look, there's already this in here. It's like, why? That's the same. It's a replication. I don't know what the heck. Because it's this thing. It's exactly the same. No dot. App actions, upload, artifact. It's like everything here is the same. I don't even know what I'm changing. Save the file and commit the changes to the repository. Did I even change anything? Actually, what I'm going to do, though, is because they wanted this in the .git file, I'm going to go Control-A, Control-C, and I'm going to take it over here, and I'm just going to put it in here. I didn't change anything. It was exactly the same thing. I just took their sample code because ultimately this doesn't, there was nothing to change that's different based on what they have here. All right, so they're saying commit and push. So we're going to say git add. Oh yeah, I never see that period. I don't know why. Git add period. Then I'm going to take this whole thing. And that was probably just the branch name. And then we're going to do a git push. And we're off. I don't know what's happening, but we're going to go see action section of the fork in GitHub. Let's go to the action section in the fork and see if we see anything. I'm a little concerned. I think there's some changes that this might not function as we think it will. Update deployment workflow to use. Oh, well, stuff is happening here. Okay, well, stuff is happening. So ultimately, we're going to go here now in the Azure portal, select settings, configuration, then select new application settings. So we're going to go in a little bit further, dig in. This is a meaty task, really. It's got a lot going on just to get this working, but it's kind of cool, for suresy, for suresy. Let's see. Oh, well, let's see. Did something. All right, so let's go on to the next step. We've got configure the environment variables for the API. So we're going to go back here. And then we're going to go into the settings for Cosmos DB in the Azure portal, select settings. So we're back here. Assuming I can get it to go back. All right, so now we're on here. Settings, configuration, then select new applications. Where is configuration here? Settings, configuration. My wife. Now you'll note that you rarely, if ever, I don't think I've ever cussed online. I don't typically cuss at all. And my wife's a little bit more cussy. Not too bad, but I just think it's funny because she doesn't do it all the time, but when she does, it just seems out of place for her. And it just, for me, I just hear it and I'm like, why? It's not even, it's like she just throws it out there. Throws me off. Um, but anyway, let's get back to it. Enter the settings for the Cosmos DB signal. New application setting. All right, so we're here, runtime. Where's this new application setting? I see function runtime settings. Settings, then select new application setting. Is it under general? Or is it configuration down here somewhere? Nope. I think or environment variables. This is a new thing. They did this before. And yeah, see how this is? This is app settings. There we go, application settings. So we're going to do an add, I guess. Enter the settings for the Cosmos DB signal R connection strings. You can find the values in local settings JSON. All right, so we're going to go name. Paste. I'm going to go over to my local settings JSON over here. And what was that, under server? Cosmos DB connection settings. I would imagine if it's a string here, it's a string there, right? So it should be fair assessment, right? Apply. And then we're going to go add another one for signal R connection string. I assume if things don't work, it's because I put quotes on them. And then show, refresh, apply. It's apply. There's not even a save method, so yeah, we'll just confirm. Cosmos DB signal R. Okay, so we've got those things set up. Test the deployment of the API functions. In the Azure portal, select Overview and select URL to open the app in a browser. Overview. Select URL. Copy the URL and select URL to open the app in a browser. Copy the URL. Okay. You'll need that when you update the client.m file for the backend URL value when you work in Unit 7. Oh, is that the next thing? Guess we'll put this down here then. Open the URL in a browser to test the API function. I did. Append / API / get stocks. Press enter. Kablooey! Yay! Okay, not exactly what I expected to see. /API/get stocks. You should see a JSON array with stock data. Not seeing that. So yeah, something didn't work. So, what, pray tell, is the problem? All I can figure is, let's go look at this configuration, and maybe these items aren't supposed to have quotes. That would be my next inclination. So we're going to look at this show value, and can I edit it? I'm going to take the quotes off. And then we'll apply that. And I'm hoping that's all it is, because the next thing I don't have another option in my brain anyway. I don't have something that I would naturally assume is the right answer for that. So we will try again. Well, we know my function runs. We've already proven that. So I don't have to worry too much about that part, but we do need to figure out, where did my thing go? If this works, still doesn't work. Does say it's running though. Huh. Well. What now? I don't even have a slightest idea where to go to troubleshoot this. Because I thought maybe it was my quotes that were throwing it off. But that didn't fix anything. And I mean, what do I expect to happen here? I mean, it doesn't say, it just says put the string in, and I put the string in exactly as we have them here. Doesn't like it. I go to overview. We open the URL, that doesn't get me anywhere. Local settings JSON in the start server folder. This is where we got the values. Configuration, select new application setting, which I put in. Things were kind of working up to that point. I mean, we had the Git, we uploaded, and then it says the change will trigger the workflow. You can watch the workflow from action section of the fork in GitHub, which I did do. I went here and you can see, oh, it blew up. There's an X there. What happened? Login failed using auth type, service principal. Not all values are present. Ensure client ID and tenant. Oh, maybe that's what the problem is. This didn't actually deploy. Login failed with the error using auth type, server principal. Not all values are present. Ensure client ID and tenant ID are supplied. Double check if the auth type is correct. Refer to GitHub README. Okay. The default value is service principal. Users can specify it as identity for login and manage identity. I think we did that like it said. I wonder if that was something that was supposed to be in my in here. Let's go look at that GitHub thing. I have a feeling that GitHub thing was supposed to be helpful. Steps. Project dependencies, zip, deploy, node, unzip, deployment. No, this doesn't actually show anything about the login, does it? Main, dispatch, package path, start server, Azure function app, package path. All that stuff was already there. Mm-hmm. Login failed using auth type. Not all values are present. Ensure client ID and tenant ID are supplied. Where? Okay, client ID, make sure they were supplied. Supplied where? Where am I supplying them? That's a thing. All right, let's Google it. I don't know what else to do with that. Login fails with error. I'm gonna find with I'm not able to push Azure. Based on the log you provided, it seems that client ID and tenant ID are missing. No kidding, but where do you set those at? Please provide these, and could you share your workflow here to help me better assist you with this? Based on the log you provided, yes, I can provide you my workflow. I will edit the message when I have it. Edit. The workflow generated by Azure is here. Maybe that's this. They'll tell me how to put these items in there. Maybe it's not reading the workflow file correctly. Please check if client ID secret name and tenant ID secret name are stored as secrets in your repository for how to use secrets in GitHub. These secrets are automatically generated by Azure Web App. I do not have any secrets in my repository. I try to reproduce your issue by setting. It works well for me. I chose the authentication type, user assigned identity. Then the workflow is automatically generated in my GitHub repo with the corresponding secret stored in my repo. It seems that an error occurred. For a quick fix, I have some suggestions for you. I can find the managed identity created by Azure Web App. If it was also created for you, you can copy its client ID and tenant ID to store them as secrets in your repository. If you cannot find such managed identity, you may refer to the guide. So I need to put some secrets in to make this work. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's see. Maybe that's a thing. I think I fixed it by setting the action setting in my organization. The action setting? Is that a thing? Settings? Action? General? Any action or reusable workflow can be used, regardless of who authored it or when it defined. Probably shouldn't allow that. So, allow Tazion actions and reusable workflows. Any action or reusable workflow defined in a repository within Tazion can be used. Fork pull request workflows from outside collaborators. No. Workflow permissions. Read and write permissions. Oh. Nope, that's not it because it's already read and write. Allow GitHub Actions to create and approve pull requests. Okay. That's not it. Let's see what runners are. I don't even know what those are. There are no runners. Yeah, they're nothing. Okay. So there's not a lot of limitations going on here. So that's probably not the problem. Yeah. Okay, so that's probably not it. So it must be something to do with these secrets. How do you do secrets? Secrets and variables, actions. Well, obviously I got to do this secretively. So, I'm thinking I have to set these up. I mean, there might be a way that this can be done through other means, but I don't know. It sounds like this is required. This could be a new thing. Again, this as security becomes more and more of a thing at each level of design and development. You know, they have these classes and such, and they're going to always be a little bit more, you know, they're going to tie down, they're going to get more secure, you're going to have to do more and more things to make it work. Hmm. All right, so new repository variable. I would imagine I have to type in all of these items. Azure App Service Client ID. And then I have to start adding the secrets. I'm not exactly positive where to get these things. But I'm guessing I'm going to need these in order to... unless there's another way to provide it. I would think maybe my workflow could provide it. Or... I mean, this is one way to do it. And maybe I'll hold on to this page. Let's go here. I'm going to open this up in a new page. Receiving login failed. Let's see with the Microsoft Learn thing. Because maybe I'm missing it here in the workflow file. See, I probably need these. Let's see what they say here. Please ensure that your assigned role is contributor. If it is not, assign yourself contributor role and avoid using restricted Azure directories. Additionally, verify that the client's secrets in both the CLI and GitHub secrets are correct and save them under action secrets. Deploy ARM template. This has been created resource with a given resource group. Resource group settings, deployment, creating resource VNet as shown. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Have I said because I'm feeling Not sure what the answer is here. All right, well, how do I do this? I guess I have to know where these are coming from. So, repository variables. So if I go here, I don't suppose there's any default ones. I feel like I should be able to pass that in through like the workflow. Right? Because the workflow would tell it, you know, like, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. GitHub workflow failing at Azure login. Does this one tell me anything? The Microsoft Learn instructions stated to save secrets as code spaces. Copy the JSON output and store it as GitHub secret within your GitHub repository by doing the following steps in GitHub. From your GitHub repository, select Settings tab. And then from the left menu, select the secrets drop down. And then select code spaces. Anyway, okay. However, after further reading and testing, I found the secrets should have been saved under actions. Okay, that's where I was. This update and reran the GitHub workflow. I successfully followed the Azure resource via template. I hope this helps anyone who's learning to encounter this issue. Hopefully Microsoft Learn sees this ticket and updates their documentation. So he's hit the same problem. He's basically trying to do this through Microsoft Learn. Okay, so I'm going to fiddle with this. I'm going to take a break. I need to get some drink and step away for a bit. And then I try and get my secrets set up correctly. I'll show you where I set them up. I probably won't show you what I put in there because they're secret. But I will kind of show you what I set up, where I set it up, and what values I put in. I mean, not the values of my values, but what secrets. So, okay, until then, take it easy. Bye.